Hi guys, this is Andrea, the love coach, and today on my show is Honest Steve.
At your service? Hello.
So Honest Steve is the guy next door who talks to you about his opinions, giving his opinions on love, dating and relationships, giving you the guy next door's thoughts. My name is Andrea and I'm the fearless love coach, showing strong, sassy single women how to love without fear to attract and keep Mr. Right. And so today we're talking about sex. What is he thinking? What's he thinking in the moment of having sex with you, ladies? What's he thinking? Hi, come and say hi so we know who you are.
Hello.
What does he think about when he is dating you, but doesn't want anything more, but wants to have sex with you? So, I know a lot of you women are coming to me worried, especially when you've just started dating again, and you're going to have to get naked and you're gripped by fear. So I know a lot of you women, what you think about when it's that time, hi, when it's that time when
Hello.
you're going to get naked again, you're worried about what you look like. I can pretty
So are
much...
we.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
you know.
I'm just going to do my bit.
Let me chill my boots.
So I know that some of you women are thinking, is he going to notice my fat blank? And it's true, isn't it? There'll be certain parts of your body that you'll be worried about. Perhaps it's your belly, your thighs, your bum. And
All of the above.
All of the above, boobs, you know, whatever it is. Everyone's got their thing, right?
Yeah.
And you'll be so worried about that, you'll be feeling anxious. And you'll not be able to relax, you'll not be able to enjoy the moment. You're also thinking about, is he having a good time? So what I'm talking about is that those first moments, you're probably having lots of anxiety, right? Anxiety thoughts, and you can't relax and enjoy the experience. So I want to know though, what goes on in a guy's mind? What is he thinking? Is there anything going on at all?
It's a guy, of course there isn't. It's just a void.
So what does a guy think about when he's having sex?
There's a lot of variables in there.
So let's give some scenarios,
Yes.
right? Let's talk about it's a one night stand.
Okay. Right.
What is your what? Yeah.
Because I mean that's stripped right back, isn't it? It's a one
Go
night
on.
stand. I suppose I won't go into the complications of whether she knows it's a one night stand.
Okay, yeah.
Or whether
he's definitely saying it's a one in his mind.
He's made his mind up. This is just, you know, it's just it's the heat of the moment.
Yeah.
I suppose it depends what she looks like, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean,
Go on.
let's be honest. Most guys I know will, if it comes to just a one night stand,
Yeah.
if it's got a pulse, it's good enough.
If it's got a pulse, it's good enough. Oh my god. Oh.
Not all of us.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of lads, and I'm amazed where they'll go, and I just, yeah, I mean, I don't know where to be envious of the fact that they can.
Right.
But I just, you know, they just don't give a toss. A lot of guys don't give a toss. If it's I hate to say it, any hole's a goal.
Did you hear that? Any hole
But
is
you did
a
say
goal.
that. You did say it's stand.
Any
in the heat of the
hole
moment.
is a goal.
And I say,
you
I'm
don't
not-
want to be that girl.
It's not all guys. Trust me, it really isn't. I'm just being honest about the sort of, in general, I know guys who think like that. I'm not one of them, definitely not.
Yeah.
But I do know guys that think like that, so they probably don't really look too far into it.
So they're thinking then about pleasing themselves.
Yeah, and I would imagine it's, you know, it's probably the best 2 seconds of their life. You know?
2 seconds.
It's not going to be fulfilling, is it? It's unlikely.
Well,
If
they're
you- if
doing
you're
it, so it
talking
must
about
be
that-
fulfilling for them. If
It
they're
might be
doing
fulfilling for them
Yeah.
for, you know, for 2 seconds, whatever it is, a minute. But it'll quickly be replaced by right.
So that's the thing, right? If you're a woman, and this is where I see lots of women struggle, is that if you're liking a guy and you think it means something more, so you've got to look at what situation that you're in, or even if you've had great sex, you know, you've had orgasmic sex.
Could be brilliant.
Yeah, it could be amazing, and you want something more to happen.
Yeah.
You've also got to think of what, you know, what he's thinking, what stage of life is he at, what he's looking for, and if it's very clear it's a one night stand, I would say no matter how great the sex is, no matter how amazing you feel as a woman, it doesn't mean he'll want anything more.
No, absolutely not. And to be honest, you know, joking aside, what I talked about a minute ago was stripping it right back to literally pulling somebody in a nightclub, a pub, you know, where there's been nothing before that night, before that moment. You know, you just, you know, you're in somewhere, you have a few drinks. It's happened to us all, you know, and you've just, you know, inhibitions are low because alcohol's been flowing and it's back to whoever's place. There wasn't time for any build-up. Taking it a step on from that, we could be talking about like the fact that the guy still thinks it's a one-night stand in his mind, but he might have done some grafting. Because
this is what I mean, because I know with one woman I know, they'd been on a date. So
see, that's it. That's a bit different, isn't it? You know, there's a bit more to it. Now, he might still just be working it just because, you know, his ultimate end game is, in his mind, he's prepared to put a bit of graft in, but it's still only going to be a fling. It's still only going to be potentially a one-night stand. Or if it was amazing, it might go slightly, you know, trip over into 2 or 3 times before it fizzles out. But if he's got no plans to get serious...
Exactly. If he's got no plans to get serious, it's not going to go anywhere. It doesn't matter how amazing the sex is. And I think that's what a lot of women struggle with, is when you've been dating him for, I don't know, 2 or 3 dates. He's been taking you up to dinner, you feel romanced, you feel cared for. You think it's going somewhere.
He's making all the right noises.
He's doing all, exactly. And then...
Oh, God.
And then... Well, the thing is, I know some guys, right, who will convince themselves that they like her,
right,
in order to play the long game and to have sex, just because they need to feel comfortable with themselves, to know that they're going to just have sex and then they're going to move on.
I suppose sometimes it might be that the guy isn't fully honest with himself about that.
Exactly.
You know, like he might actually, you know, like you say, because it's a bit like the kid with the Christmas presents, isn't it? They go rushing into a present and they're dead excited, and within a short period of time after they've opened it, they've seen it, it's forgotten. It's next. It's like they've had that adrenaline rush, and then it ebbs away as quickly as it built. It builds, boom, it's gone. It's over. They're looking for the next fix. And it can be the same principle with that type of guy I think you're talking about. You know, they can convince themselves that, you know, that they've built that in the build-up stage, but once they've actually got what they sort of ultimately wanted, stripping that right back, it's like, next.
And sometimes, right, I mean, if you agree with me on this or not, is that he might not even know how he feels until he's actually had sex with you.
Absolutely correct. He might be hoping to be blown away. He might be able to feel something he hasn't felt for ages, if ever. But it might turn out in reality that it's not really the case. It was a bit of a disappointment, or, you know, he's built it up too much in his head, and therefore he wasn't fulfilled, and then that will very quickly turn to right, then I'll just fizzle.
So some of you women who, you know, you say you've been dating for a while and you've had sex, and then he does the fade out, right, or he ghosts you, and you're confused. Oh, you should. He's laughing. Why is he laughing?
I love that term now. That new term,
ghosting. Ghosting. That's a really popular term.
That's funny.
I don't know. Some of you,
says it all, doesn't it? Really? What does that mean? Hello.
I know some of you will feel confused by that because you think, well, he's played all the right moves. You felt good with him. You've done lots of things together. It's felt good. But the thing is, if he's felt a disappointment.
And he could. She could. But we're talking about him at the moment. What's he thinking? So he could be disappointed in what's gone on there. He could have been hoping it was going to be like, you know, I don't know. But then it's just been all a little bit awkward, a little bit boring, a little bit quick, a little bit just flat, really.
And that's the thing. And sometimes you don't know until you're
in.
We've all been there. You just, you know, you think this is going to be amazing, and then you're together, and it's like. Huh? What was that? And so, look, he might not know until he's had sex with you how he really feels with you. And I know some of you women don't want to hear that. I know some of you are kind of playing hard to get. And you know what? I don't think that makes any difference if you're using that as a tactic. You see, look at his expression.
No chance.
If you as a woman are using the play hard to get as a tactic to get a guy,
no chance. No chance. You'll either never get that stage, you'll get bored and he'll be off to the next one. who perhaps isn't so hard to get, or he'll just go with it until he gets what he wants, and the net result will be exactly the same.
Because it could be as well, if he's up for a challenge, he wants the challenge.
Of
It's just the excitement of that challenge.
Once you've got there, once that's it. You know, you've reached your ultimatum. It's still the same thing in his head. It's the same switch will go. If it was never going to be anything in the first place, if he never saw it as anything more, it would.
That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think this is the problem, is that if he's not made, and I keep on saying this and I'm going to keep on repeating it, if he has not made an emotional connection with you, it doesn't make any difference if you're playing hard to get, if you're doing somersaults or backflips when you're having sex with him.
Who's that, by the way? Can I
Is
hear
number? If he's not feeling it, he's not gonna want anything more. But you've just said, we talked about if he's been disappointed. So then, if he's not disappointed, would he still be interested? Great sex.
He might be interested in more great sex.
Right.
I mean, still doesn't mean he's going to be interested in turning it into a relationship, does it?
Exactly.
It's unlikely. I think we've touched on this before, and I think it looks like we'll continue to touch on it because it's sort of the same thing.
Yeah.
The difficulty, correct me if I'm wrong, the difficulty seems to be women find it hard to understand that sex and love are two completely different things. I'm not saying that if you're in love with someone that sex isn't better or amazing. I'm just trying to say that sex for a guy doesn't mean he loves you. It just doesn't. Sex is sex. Love is love. Hopefully you get both. Hopefully you find yourself a fantastic relationship and the two things go hand in hand.
Yeah.
But it isn't necessarily so. A guy can have sex with whoever. Does not mean there's any shred of love or affection there, really.
Yeah.
Romance.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be that word romance, maybe. There's a difference between sex and romance. It's just. It seems to be difficult. It seems from some of the questions you're asked.
Yeah.
That women seem to find it difficult. They think the two are always hand in hand. They think that they're inextricably linked. They're not.
Well, they do, especially if they feel something for the guy.
Absolutely,
If they're feeling like an emotion and they're feeling that attraction towards the guy, they definitely will think it's love and sex could be linked, definitely.
Yeah.
And that's when women struggle. That's when women get confused. That's when it's harder for women.
I get it. I really do. Yeah,
it's really hard. And so, I know some of you women are really struggling with when to have sex with them. And listen, he can. If you're playing the hard to get thing, he can equally as leave you on the first night as the 10th, as the 100th.
Yeah. Absolutely, yes.
Exactly. And I know you're getting really anxious about it, or you think, why is he left? If he's not made an emotional connection with you, eventually he's going to leave. Yeah. Probably, a lot.
It's going to fizzle, like
it's
you
going
say.
To fizzle.
Could be once, could be twice, could be thrice, whatever, but it will fizzle. If it's not, if the connection isn't there on a different level other than just sex.
Yes.
It's on borrowed time.
Yeah. So, what is a guy thinking then so we established that if it's just a one night stand, he's probably going to be more selfish, out for what he can get, more likely, correct me if I'm wrong here, more likely will tell you what he thinks you want to hear to get what he wants. Oh, you're cringing.
I couldn't do it. I still couldn't do it. I'd be evasive on that one, but I know, you're right. I know there are guys out there that will just tell you anything they think you want to hear. You want to hear to get you to ultimately reach that goal.
Some guys are going to be totally straight and up front with you. Yeah. They'll say, "I'm not ready for a relationship. I'm too busy right now." If you still continue and have something with him and he's told you that, then you're saying it's okay. Yeah. Basically, you've given him the green light, and if it's casual, there you go. That's your part in it, as a woman. Yeah.
I think we all have to take the hint. Perhaps not initially, because we're all romantics at heart. We all like to think it doesn't mean what it ultimately does. But that line, I'm busy.
I'm busy.
I'm too busy.
God,
I'd love to, but I'm busy. I've been so busy. Yeah, of course you have.
How many of you women have heard that line?
Of course you have, yeah. all of it. You wouldn't be flipping busy if you really did think something of anybody, because it would be priority.
It would be you wouldn't be able to help it, because you'd feel.
Yeah, your magnets are on. You can't help it.
You can't help it. You're gonna. So if he's using that line, and of course there's going to be times when he is genuinely busy.
Of course, but not all the time.
All the time, you know what I mean?
No, because he'd be so preoccupied with not, wanting to do something. If he really felt that was really, you can't. I know from me, my own personal experience.
Yeah.
If I really want to see someone, it doesn't matter how busy I am, it's in the head and it's going there, and it's a distraction.
Exactly.
And it's
hi, Kimberly. If you'll have good sex and the build up, the flirting, the touch, and the kissing, etc. If he makes you want to have sex with him, then it should be. Yeah, of course. And I actually do think you're going to have good sex with a guy before you've actually had sex with him, because there is that chemistry.
There's something.
There is something.
Right.
I think if you're paying attention, certainly as a woman.
I'm going to say from the bloke's point of view, I think that might be a bit more.
Oh, really? Tell me
I don't
why.
think you probably get somebody who's really overtly sexy, then you think, But I think a lot of the time women are a bit more difficult to read than that.
Right.
I'm not saying it isn't. Like I say, you do meet people who are highly sexual, and it's oozing out of every pore. I think that's very uncommon in women.
Right. Okay.
I think there's a certain amount of control there.
What do you mean, a certain amount of control?
I just don't think that they want to let that much go. I think that they try and play the cards close to the chest. There's flirting and there's flirting.
Yeah.
Flirting's one thing, but actually being able to read that you think you're going to have good sex with them, do you know what? In fact, I'd say the opposite.
Okay,
Some people really surprise me. I might have been thinking, and they really surprise you.
Yeah.
And other people, it might be all noise and no go.
Oh yeah, that's the worst kind of thing, when you're really looking forward to it and it's just like,
Hey,
it's worse.
this one's going to go. Oh, actually not.
So going back to, if he wants something more from you and he sees you as potentially long term, or he wants something long term, he sees you as something special, the way he approaches sex, I think, is going to be different.
Yeah, definitely. If it means more to you, definitely.
He's going to be thinking more of your needs.
Yeah, you'll be much more attentive. You'll be much more concerned with how it is for her than yourself.
Yeah.
Personally, anyway. Yeah. I'd be worried about myself way after.
Yeah.
Because I'd want to perform. I'd want to try and do.
Yeah.
Try and do a good job. Make sure.
And I like that. Try and do a good job. I like that. Hey! But that's the thing. But for some of you women who are worried about getting naked again for the first time, and we spoke about at the beginning about having anxiety thoughts, right?
Yeah.
Guys can have it
Oh
too.
my God, can they? Yeah. We're
Especially
not 20.
performance anxiety.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a big deal for a guy.
Yeah.
Really big deal for a guy. Of course it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's so much to go wrong for a guy, isn't there? So. Believe you me, it's a lot of pressure there.
Yeah.
Just as much.
What about your body? Is it more to do with performance, or you're worried about your body? Because I think for women, and what do you think, Kimberly? Is it more to do with how you look naked as opposed to
Do you really think
performance?
that's different for women than men?
I think women are more concerned with how
more
they
body conscious
yeah,
than
more
men nowadays, even?
definitely. Oh, nowadays I don't think it matters which. Probably more so nowadays, because we've got these ideas of beauty and what we think.
There's just as many images of the perfect man on television.
Do you feel more anxiety around your body, or is it more to do with performance?
I would have thought performance still is more of more anxiety. Would certainly give me more anxiety than body.
Yeah.
Both are a nightmare, but
that's all right.
Both are a nightmare, but performance ultimately is going to be more of a stress than just body image.
Yeah. So if you're, as a woman, you're getting naked again for the first time, he's going to be anxious and nervous too.
Yeah.
I think it'd be highly unusual if he was. It doesn't matter, I think, how confident he is. If he's got feelings for you and he cares about you, I would say then maybe his anxiety might go up a little bit.
I think as also you've got to be pretty honest with yourselves here. I think it very much depends on where you are on the scale as well. I mean, if you have got an amazing body, you probably can't wait to get your clothes off.
Right? Yeah.
But if you haven't, then you're going to be worried about whatever it is that you're not happy about when you look in the mirror.
Yeah.
You're going to be thinking, are they thinking the same thing? And it might be that you're hard on yourself and she doesn't care, or it might be that she's hard on herself and he doesn't care.
Yeah.
But I think if you're perfect, or if you've got a great body, you're probably not particularly body conscious. You probably know it. But if you haven't, if you're like most of us, then you're all right, but you're not by any means perfect. Then that's when inevitably I think you're going to have anxieties because it matters to you. You think this could be a deal breaker.
Yeah.
She could take one look at me naked and think, bleh, interested. You know.
I mean,
could do.
yeah, it could do.
Can happen.
I mean,
can happen.
oh, we're not talking from experience, are we?
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. And so, I really want some of you women to understand that there's a difference, and I know some of you do, but I'm just really labouring the point between love and sex. And you know what? Even in a long-term relationship, right? Because I coach men who are in long-term relationships. A lot of them have come to me and have said, I really love her, but I don't feel sexually attracted to her
That's
anymore.
faded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is a difference between, and absolutely can be a difference between love and sex.
I've been in a relationship just like
Right.
that.
Right.
Yeah.
And so there was one particular guy who, well, wanted to sleep with other women, and he said it had absolutely nothing to do with the love. He had no intentions of ever leaving his wife.
I get it. Yeah, definitely.
Loved her
Yeah.
dearly, passionately, but he wanted to have sex with other women.
Yeah. Just to fill that void.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get it.
Yeah.
I know she probably wouldn't get it, but I get it,
Yeah.
and I understand. I mean, she'd probably find it very hard to accept and believe, which is understandable. By the way,
because isn't, as a woman, the first thing you'd think if you found out your partner's having sex with another woman, you'd think, well, do you love her? I guarantee that's the first thing you'll be thinking,
of course,
as a woman.
Yeah, but I can, no. It really, there's, like I said earlier, there's no correlation. No, it's not. That's not necessarily the thing at all. I think, well, they are. The two things are very different. It's nicer to go hand in hand, and obviously, if you are deeply in love and you have got a fantastic sex life, I mean, that it absolutely is the goal, and that's brilliant. But these things can happen, can't they? They can fade. I don't know how many years this fella's been in a relationship, but it can happen.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I've been there. I've done it. I've been in a long-term relationship where I thought the world of the girl. Not in a million years would I have left her.
Yeah.
But the sex life with her was probably the worst of the relationships I've had.
Wow.
It was never as good as some of the other ones from the outset, but it was good enough.
Yeah.
But it was not, perhaps not what I was used to. But the person,
Loved her to bits.
10 times better than all the other ones
Yeah.
put together. Yeah,
Yeah.
she was amazing. Yeah.
So if I were to ask you, ladies, oh, go on, Kimberly says, I don't think 9% of women would agree with that. What would they not agree with, Kimberly? Tell me what they wouldn't agree
let's
with.
have a look at that.
Tell us what they wouldn't agree with. And I forgot what I was going to say now. Completely gone out of my mind.
Well, we were at the point where I was saying, like, obviously, we were saying I wouldn't. I said I personally wouldn't have left the person where the sex life wasn't so good, but I thought the world of it.
Yeah.
So that.
Oh yeah. So this is the question. If I were to ask you, what are you like in bed? Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever asked yourself what are you actually like in? What am I like in bed? Kimberly, that you can still love someone and have sex with other people. You don't think so? You
That
think
women would agree with that?
Oh, okay.
No, of course they wouldn't. We would get that they wouldn't agree that that's okay.
Yeah, not that it's okay,
we're
but
not saying that it's okay.
yeah.
We're just saying that from a man's point of view, in his head, it's possible to have. It would be possible to have uncomplicated, unloving, unconnected sex with somebody, but still be in love with his, wife, partner, girlfriend of a long time. We're not saying that should be the case or is the case, or we're not endorsing it. We're just saying, like your man said, he loves his wife, but the sex isn't fulfilling, and he'd like to have sex with other women because it's just that part of his relationship's a bit dull. And I've said I understand that, and I get it. Blah blah blah.
So this is why a man can say that if he's married or in a long-term relationship and he's having sex with another woman but loves his partner, he can say it didn't mean anything.
And it's true.
And he'll think, and some
horrible.
guys will be really. I mean, this is the sad part. I think some guys will be like confused why she's so upset because in their mind it didn't mean anything.
Yeah, exactly.
They won't get what it can be like for a woman.
He'd never be able to convince her, though, would he? He'd never be able to convey that.
No.
She'd have to take his word for it, which clearly she wouldn't. And I don't blame her. Isn't, like I say, this isn't a good situation to be in. This isn't something that's like the thing to do. Mm-hmm. But I get why he's thinking that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what does he think about when he's having sex with you? I interviewed quite a few guys And this is when, and it depends on the stage, whether it's a one night stand, or whether you're just kind of getting together, or if it's long term.
But it's going to depend on the girl in question as well, isn't it? The female in question. It could be so many variables here. But yeah.
There's going to be thoughts going on in his head. He's not. I know some of you women think there's nothing going on in a man's mind.
Most of the time, you're probably right.
Most of the time, but like Steve was talking about before, he's probably worried about performance anxiety. If it's in a long-term relationship and he's bored. I mean, one guy told me he starts thinking about has he paid the bills. I'm like, oh my god! And then he said then he starts thinking of other women he finds sexy to get himself excited again to have sex with his partner.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that's not good, is it? That isn't. That is.
Well, that'll lead to some disappointment if you're in the middle of a job with somebody regular and then you start thinking about
in the middle of a job. It's a job.
I'm joking.
It's not. That's what we see.
People used to say, didn't they? I'm on the job.
I'm on the job. Oh God.
I'm joking. I'm busy.
So this is one guy. He texted me. He wanted to tell me what his thoughts when he's having sex. Right? He's thinking, "This is great. This is a bit disappointing." What
These are like different things he could be thinking.
Could be thinking.
Right.
She's a wild one. Hit the jackpot. She's like a sack of spuds.
Oh yeah, I know her.
Oh God. Jesus, keep the noise down.
I know her as well.
Oh God. I really want to give her a good time. That's what you want, don't you? You want that thought to be going on in his head.
Oh dear.
I really need to make her come. You want that one to be going on?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you want that one as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I wonder if she takes it up the butt. This is what he said. That's what goes on in his head. So what goes in a guy's mind?
Funny because it's true.
Well, there you go.
Oh,
there you go, from the guy next door telling you the honest truth.
Oh, that's absolutely brilliant.
So, depending on where you're at, if it's just a one-night stand in his mind, or whether he sees you as something more, is depending on what's going on in his mind. And in pretty much guarantee, we're all human beings. If you're worried as a woman, first time getting naked with a guy, he's going to be feeling anxiety as well. So I don't want you to relax, the first time you're getting together with a guy.
Yeah.
So any lasting parting thoughts, Steve? No.
Now that you've distracted me now.
He's thinking of bums now. Now I've said bottom. You see, this is it. The simplicity of a man's mind. No. That's it. He's off somewhere else now. Does she take it up the butt? Okay. You see? Ever want to get a guy's attention? There's a line.
We've told the world our inner thoughts there, haven't we?
But ideally, of course, you want him to be thinking, can I make her happy? And he will be thinking that if he's into you and wants something more with you. Absolutely guaranteed. And for women, if you've been dating a guy and then you've had sex and he's left, the chances are he hasn't made an emotional connection towards you. He's not feeling it. Maybe he did, but then when he had sex with you, he felt disappointment.
Could be that.
I know some of you, like, if you're wearing like your bodycon dresses and you've got your things to suck everything in and lift everything up and and everything, and you made full makeup.
Yeah.
And then when you strip it all away,
you think,
where
did the girl up to go? What she swapped?
I know some guys have told me that, and it's a bit it's a bit scary for a woman. It is scary.
I suppose it would be, depending on how much effort you've gone to make things look smaller, bigger,
everything in the right place, and
I suppose it would be,
it's hard.
Yeah, I get that. That must be quite a lot of pressure for women.
Yeah, but still, ultimately, if you've got body confidence, no matter what, if you're feeling good within your own skin, that's always going to be highly sexy. Yeah. It has to be.
Yeah, I mean, women particularly like confidence, don't they? But I think to a lesser extent, but certainly men like confidence in a woman too.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But you'll get away with it more as a lack of confidence will be forgiven in a female much more than a man. I think it's just seen as weakness in man, so completely, isn't it? Women read like, men without confidence, from what I can tell, they see him as like weak, and it probably goes back to the caveman thing. It's
Yeah.
probably like, this man isn't a good, you know, father to my children because
Yeah.
he's weak.
Well, yeah, I mean,
It's
would
just
any
a
woman
difficult-
find a guy sexy if he was weak?
Exactly.
I mean,
So
it's
a lack
not,
of
is it?
confidence, I think it does matter. But yeah, it still matters in women. It's still attractive in
Yes.
a woman if she's body confident and you
Yeah.
know. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, I can just picture in the scene now. We talked about this, like this first time, thing,
Yeah.
which is just fucking awful,
Yeah.
and it can be. It would be fantastic if, you know, rather than thinking about that fumbling thing, like trying to get the bra off with one hand.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah.
Get the bra off with one hand. It'd be nice if she just like wandered in. If she just chucked all her own clothes off and just wandered in and sort of, you know, like dead.
Oh, really?
Yeah, body confident.
Oh, have you
just came
heard that?
strutting
Oh,
in.
right, okay, this is what you need
No
to do
fumbling,
with
getting
it.
the clothes off.
Get
all
it
try-
off.
Trying to kiss and take the clothes at the same time. She just like.
Yeah, but what about the excitement? Is that not thrilling
No,
for a guy?
no,
I think
no,
that's.
get it over
I
and
think
done
that
with.
says
Get it off.
laziness.
Get
I
it
think
off.
that says.
Let's see the goods.
Let's see the goods. Well, try that one then. If this is a first date, when you want to make, well, not the first date. No, don't do it on a first date, please. No, but
If
I
it's
mean, when
got
it
to
goes,
that
if it's
point
got
in
to that
time
point,
where it's on and you both know
Yeah.
it's on, it'd be much better if she just literally, it'd blow his mind. But if wherever they end up, if she just like, if she decides she's going to go to the. They've got to that point in the night where it's coming, it's there,
Yeah,
it's sort of
yeah,
on there or thereabouts,
yeah.
whichever room you're in. If she just wandered in with nothing on, you'd be thinking,
there you go. How to wow him. Okay.
get in!
Right. Okay. There
And
we
you'd be
go.
much more inclined to stand up and think, well, fuck it. Chuck your kit
Well,
off.
if you wanted to
get
have the
on with it.
experience of him having the wow factor, and I
That'd
talk
be
about
ace.
the wow factor. If he's got that wow factor, when
That'd
he's
be
talking
ace.
with you, when
It
he
would.
sees you, when he's going to bed with you, I pretty much guarantee.
You know, honestly, that'd be
He'll be
absolutely
in.
ace. That
Yeah.
fumble, that thing, like trying to undo the buttons while you're kissing her. Like, it's just,
I still think that's a little bit
Get
lazy.
it off, here it
But
is.
if you want to be show as if you're really confident, then hey,
Get rid of it.
you know what I mean? If you really want to go for it, I think
Crack
that's.
on.
I love that. I love that.
I would too.
So thank you for watching. Ask yourself this question: are you good in bed, and what do you think of yourself in bed? Instead of thinking about what he's doing, think about, actually, are you a good lover? Are you good in the bedroom, and how would you define that? That's something for you to think about. So thanks for watching. I'm Andrea, the love coach, and I show single women how to attract and keep Mr. Right. And today was Honest Steve,
Pleasure as always.
who gives you his honest truth. The guy next door gives you his honest truth about love, sex, dating and
Yeah.
relationships. So thanks for watching, and bye for now.
Bye-bye.